Yeah, not bad. Give Richard a round of applause.
Wow. This is very cosy, isn't it?
Where should we start?
Wow, good question. Actually, I've got a bone to pick with you.
You've got a bone to pick with me?
Yes, I have.
Why?
Yes. Well, you see, there you were, interviewing my beloved, live on Talk TV just the other day.
Could I just say up 39% in the radio station?
Yeah.
More people listen to...
Forget all that. It's when you said that she should dump me that we became ex-friends.
Well, I'll tell you why that was, because we did a lie... No, I'm joking. Right, listen. Have you bought the ring yet, Tice? Come on.
It's work in progress.
Jesus, you're boring, man. Let's talk about you as one of the originals. Somebody who dreamt about a party that represented British values, that started it with our own chairman, David Bull, all those years ago. You've gone from 2 or 3% to leading, I think, in the last 300 or 200 opinion polls.
It's remarkable, isn't it? It was actually, we were literally at 1%. Just think, less than 5 years ago, we stood in the May 21 elections and we got 2 councillors. And now we've got almost 1,000. I mean, it's remarkable. It's like an entrepreneurial political start.
Got a round of applause. One of the criticisms of the Labour Party for many people is that when a government comes to power and talks about growth, growth means business. I think the business community, certainly here in Birmingham actually, would say that the last 18 months, in fact the last few years, have been very difficult. The question to me for you is very simple. What would reform do to encourage business, which equals growth in anybody's book?
Well, I've been meeting businesses, many meetings over the last 6-8 months, and actually energising people by saying, we're going to cut out wasteful, daft government spending it, we're seeing it with councils, but also asking them to tell us what smart and safe regulations we should keep that we all want and need, but also what daft, dither and delaying regulations prevent them from investing more money, hold them back, reduce their appetite to invest, because we need that investment, we need that growth, we need that energy, that motivation, and people need to be encouraged to take some risk. And people are, they're really enthusiastic about the fact that wouldn't it be quite a good idea if people who understand about business, who've been successful business people, might actually then go and run not just a business, but also run councils and then...
Well, let's talk about councils, because so many people are up in arms about the Labour Party denying certain councils the chance for re-election on May the 7th. We're in Birmingham, which in itself is quite poignant. I don't think most people in Birmingham have had their rubbish collected for 16 months. This is the council I know you're looking closely at. Do you really think that you can turn a council like Birmingham around, Richard?
Absolutely. It's an incredible city, Birmingham. It really is. It's a
all
wonderful
right,
city.
kid, all right. Give it a round of applause. There you go.
What was that?
That was Birmingham, mate.
Very good. How did he do? 1 marks out of 10?
That didn't go down well, did it? Go on.
But it's an incredible city.
Yeah, it is.
And
Britain's second city.
Britain's second city. It's the largest council across the whole of Europe. And it's been badly run for so many years by Labour, sort of running it into the ground. And, yeah, we can turn it around. And our ambition is to say, if you want to fix Birmingham, then vote reform, and we can turn this around. And what a great thing that would be, this incredible city, sorted, saved and fixed by reform. And we've got to be ambitious.
I think ambition's really important. One of the biggest things that you read about and hear about every day is the media will say, oh, reform's about, it's about headlines, there's no substance. And what I'm interested in is, what do you hear when you're out and about? What do people say to you on the streets and on the doorsteps? What's the #1 issue that reform must deal with?
Oh, I think people are just so fed up with the state of the country. Enough is enough, and they can't wait for a general election. And people just enthusing about the sooner it comes, the better.
Do you think it will be before 2029?
Oh, I think the odds on that have dramatically shortened. I mean, yes is the answer. We've been saying for many months it could be late 27. Even that now looks quite a long time. I mean,
the people in this room would want to know this, because we've heard about, making the party professional, taking other people on board, giving the impression that, you are ready, if you like, to govern. Are you ready?
We are absolutely all fired up, and we are gearing up, getting ready, and yes, whenever there's a general election, we would be more than ready in every sense of the word. And people should trust us, believe in it, help us, energize it, and spread the good word.
And the last question, which you don't know about, is this. It's 3:25 on the 9th of February, and a certain man is holed up in Downing Street. I hear quite depressed, quite worried. He's lost his chief of staff. He's lost his communications director. The leader of his party in Scotland says he should go. Richard Tice, when does Starmer leave?
The sooner the better, everybody. The sooner the better. We want him gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I mean this genuinely, this man has been here since the beginning. He might be a bit tight in terms of buying a ring, but I give you Reform's deputy leader, Richard Tice, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, well done. Richard Tice. So as I said, Monday, early afternoon, evening here in Birmingham, £2,500. Make some noise. One of your newest MPs, Robert Genrick's on the stage. How are you, new boy?
I'm very good, and I'm not late this time, unlike on the night of my defection, but it's very good to be here.
Quick question. What's the biggest difference between Reform and the Conservative Party that you've noticed since you've joined?
Look, if the Conservative Party had tried to organise an event like this, how many people do you think would have turned up? 2 people, someone said over there. Look, there is no other political party in British politics that could organise an event like this. There really isn't. And why is that? It's because something special is happening in the country right now, where millions and millions of decent, patriotic Brits are standing up and saying, enough. We want to take our country back. We love this great country. We're not prepared to see it slip into decline. We are going to come together to rally behind Nigel and Reform and ensure at the next general election, and that might come sooner than we all thought, we are going to ensure that for the first time in my lifetime, the first time for a long time, we have a great reforming government that turns this country around. And that's what I'm excited to be a part of.
There you go. One of the phrases that gets bandied about a lot is broken Britain. And I think even the people in Birmingham, with the problems that they've got in the council, would say that so many parts of so much of this country are broken. I'd love a little insight. Tell us about that meeting of the Conservative Shadow Cabinet before you left, when you sat there open-mouthed and they said Britain isn't broken.
Yeah. Well, look, it was almost worse than that, actually, Jeremy. They put onto the screen the Conservative Party's mantra, and at the heart of it was exactly that. The Conservatives do not believe that Britain is broken. And I said, well, I do believe Britain is broken. When I walk the streets, when I go to visit factories and pubs and talk to people on the doorstep in North Nottinghamshire, people think the country's a mess right now. Their wages are going nowhere, their bills are rising, they're sick of immigration, the small boats, their kids can't get on the housing ladder, the NHS, the potholes in the roads, you name it. And shadow cabinet member after shadow cabinet member rolled their eyes, shook their head, said they disagreed with me.
Why?
You know, I just don't think that they walk those same streets.
Yeah.
I think they're so out of touch. But Jeremy, the worst group was, there were other people around that table who said, Rob, we agree with you. Britain is broken, but we can't say it because the Tories broke Britain. And that convinced me, that was the final straw to me, that if that is your mindset, how can the British public ever trust you again? And I think that the Tories broke Britain, Labour have made it even worse, and the country is now crying out for change. And that is the incredible opportunity that this party has.
When you make as momentous a decision as you did, yeah, because look, I know you. and I know how difficult that decision was to make, and it was incredibly brave. What would you say to Conservative voters who, you know, disillusioned? I tell the same story every time on this. I did an interview before the last election. I was interviewing a Tory MP and I was interviewing a potential reform candidate. And the reform candidate talked about, you know, controlling our immigration, more police on the streets, intel, dealing with law and order, lower interest rates, lower taxation, better public services, all those things. And as he said this, I'm thinking, you know what, as a Tory voter all my life, that was the sort of thing that I adhered to. And the Tory MP jumped in and went, no, that's far right. And I remember thinking at that point, you've lost me, mate. What would you say to Tory voters who right now are looking at you, looking at Suella and Andrew as well, and thinking reform could be the answer? What would you say to those would-be Tory, well, would-be reform voters?
Yeah, look, I understand why this is difficult for some people. It was hard for me. Many of us have deep loyalty to political parties, either because we've been members of them, we've served in government alongside them, or we've just voted for them time and again. Look, I joined the Conservative Party when I was 16, in 1997 in Wolverhampton. There were not many 16-year-old Conservatives
just up the road
in Wolverhampton, exactly. And I've been part of it, or was part of it, for a very long time. But sometimes, and this is the crucial thing, sometimes you ultimately have to put the country before party loyalty. And that is the journey that I went on. I think it's the journey that millions and millions of people across our country are doing right now. Maybe they've always voted Labour. Maybe they've always voted Conservative. But they've watched both of those parties let the country down. And they see the country in this moment of peril, and they think, I'm not prepared to let this great country slip through our fingers. So I'm going to put aside the way I've always voted and put my faith in us, in reform, in you in this hall today. And that is why we've got to make sure that we use the days, the weeks, the months ahead wisely, because we can't let those people down. I'm convinced that when the general election comes, people will vote for change, and that we will get Nigel into Downing Street. We will get a reform government, and that government has to do what, frankly, no government has done in recent times: arrest our decline, stop the boat, secure our borders, raise living standards, fix our public services, restore pride in our country once again. That prize is within our grasp. We've got to ensure that we just do everything in our power, day and night, from now until the general election, to make sure that we do it and that we don't let the British public down when we have the honour of serving this country.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it, Robert Genrick. Thank you, my friend. Very good.
Thanks, everyone.
Robert Genrick, look, waving. I might do a bit of that. Right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, a man who's been there almost from the beginning, the chief whip, the main bruiser, Lee Anderson on the stage, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, son? All right. How are you?
I feel good, Jeremy, to be honest. Is this working?
Yeah,
I feel good, yeah.
You look like Madonna.
It's like our second home, this place, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
We're a couple of times a year. It's great.
Mate, I wanted to ask you something just off the cuff very quickly. You've been there almost from the beginning. You were one of the first to cross the floor.
I was the first, but I don't like to talk about it.
Well, I think you should.
Yeah, okay.
Why do you not want to talk about it?
I do, really. I was the first Reform MP, and I was the first elected Reform UK
What do you
MP.
make of the new lot, Lee?
I'm not sure about some of them, but... You know what, I am quite angry with one of my MPs, one of my flock, and that's Richard Tice.
Why? Because he hasn't bought Isabella a ring?
He's got engaged to this beautiful woman, and the old skinflint has not even put his hand in his pocket.
Do you know what he says? Do you know what he says to me every day? Oh, you've got to be patient.
No.
For a man with his means,
it's
just buy a ring, Tice.
It's not just that, Jeremy. A man of his age as well. I mean, the clock's ticking.
Let's not talk about age. I mean, to be honest, he's punching. Lee, a lot of us watched you recently launch with Nigel Reform Save Our Pubs campaign, which I think resonated with so many people for so many reasons. Why is it so important to you in Reform, my friend?
I think I do like to support my local businesses in my community. I do spend a lot of time in the pubs, purely political reasons.
Of course.
Of a weekend.
You don't drink, do you?
We always say, me and Nigel and the rest of the team, always say that every pub is a parliament.
Yeah.
when you go into a pub, Jeremy, you've got England football managers in there. You've got rugby football managers, cricket managers. You've got experts in every single field sit in a pub on a Sunday afternoon, talking nonsense a lot of the time. Sometimes they're talking common sense, but it's about opinions. People can go and swap opinions, and, have a few pints, and it's great. And I just think that this government, they don't want anybody to have their own opinion. They don't want people to socialise and mix together. Pubs have been around in that
They're the
country.
hub, aren't they?
They're a hub. Yeah. If you're down in the dumps, go out and see your mates. They're a great place.
One of the things that, doing what I do, that I see as a main criticism of where we're at the moment politically, and I include the Tories and Labour in that, is that, it's based in Westminster. It's almost divorced from the people in this country. One of the things that Reform, and you certainly do, you spend a lot of time travelling around the country. David Bull, our fantastic chairman, does the same, meeting members, meeting the sorts of people that have come today on a Monday afternoon. What makes members so important to this movement, Lee?
They are. Nigel always says they're the people's army, and they are the people's army. And the great thing about our membership, which a lot of people out there in Westminster don't realise, Jeremy, is I would say that 70% of our membership have never been in a political party before. They've just sat by and watched, and they're disgusted with what's happening to our country. And they've said to themselves, enough is enough. I'm getting involved. I'm coming to rallies. I'm delivering leaflets. I'm standing for council, maybe stand for Parliament. But the most important thing is they're stepping up for their country, and they are part of the People's Army. And thank you, every single one of them.
There you go. You've come up with some quite famous nicknames for those in power. I mean, you call Rachel... What do you call Rachel Reeves?
I did it in Prime Minister's Question Times
Did you?
last year, yeah. I called her Rachel from Accounts. And
I think she looks like Richard III, if you have a look at a picture.
Well, there's a few other names, a few nicknames. But there's quite a few in there. We've got Mastermind, David Lammy.
Calamity Lammy, ladies and gentlemen. Can I just take a moment? I mean, I'm sure this won't happen, but if Starmer does resign, either this afternoon or whatever, can we all just cast a thought and think, even if it was for a week, Calamity Lammy as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom?
Yeah, it's shocking, Jeremy. I mean, this is a thing. Most of the country wants Starmer to go, but who's going to walk into number 10 behind him? Is it going to be Lammy? Is it going to be Angela Rayner?
She's had a makeover, Angela.
Oh, dear, I think she's throwing the money away, isn't she, to be honest with you?
You got Wes Streeting. I found out this morning on the show that Wes Streeting was organised Peter Mandelson's stag do.
Well,
he's up to his neck in it.
Wes Streeting's a pound shop Mandelson, that's all he is. In fact, he came up to Ashfield before the general election in 2024 to campaign. And I actually thanked him in the House because I think his appearance helped me win that seat.
Have you got any other nicknames?
I have, Jeremy.
Any for your own MPs?
I don't know. It's... I don't want to talk about Ticey too much.
No. Does he annoy you?
No, he's been here from the beginning, Richard has. And I will say this about Richard. He's the reason I'm here. He's the reason there's 2,000 people in this room today. So we should give Richard Tice...
Should give him a big round of applause for Tice, man.
Before I go, it wasn't always a bed of roses between me and Richard. When I was first in trouble with the Tory party, me and Richard didn't get on. In fact, in one interview, I called him a pound shop Diane Abbott. And
oh dear.
What I want to... what I want to say now, I want to apologise to Diane Abbott.
I think I won't have a job for long. I think you're amazing. I think you embody reform. Ladies and gentlemen, your Chief Whip, Lee Anderson. There he is. So from the man who was the very first Reform MP, Lee Anderson, to the man who is the latest new recruit, the MP for Romford, Andrew Rosindell, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Very nice to see you. I asked you in the green room, which is really interesting, because you came over to Reform a matter of weeks ago after Robert. And I know there's a lot of people who have said, you know, this party, yes, it needs experience and it mustn't take anybody, but this has been a decision that you've been thinking about a long, long time, Andrew, hasn't it?
So I was Reform before Reform was even thought of.
Why did it take you